We will now hear the preamble to the Articles of Freedom, and Dave Batchelor will read that for us.
The Declarations and Resolves of Continental Congress 2009. In defense of the free people, the time has come to reassert our God-given natural rights and cast off tyranny. Let the facts reveal. The federal government of the United States of America was instituted to secure the individual rights of our citizens and instead now threatens our life, liberty, and property through usurpations of the Constitution. Emboldened by our own lack of responsibility and due diligence in these matters, government has exceeded its mandate and abandoned those founding principles which have made our nation exceptional. Our servant government has undertaken these unconstitutional actions in direct violation of their enumerated duties, to the detriment of the people's liberty and the sovereignty of our republic. Over many years and spanning multiple political administrations, the people have, in good conscience, attempted to deliberate our grievances and voice our dissent against these offensive actions through both petition and assembly, have been maligned and ignored with contempt. The people of the several states, justly alarmed at these arbitrary and unconstitutional actions, have met as citizen delegates and sat in a General Congress in the city of St. Charles, Illinois, whereupon we, as these citizen delegates, have gathered in defense of divine justice, liberty, and the principles of limited government, now stand in clear recognition of the supreme law of the land, the Constitution for the United States of America. Therefore, we demand that government immediately reestablish constitutional rule of law, lest the people be forced to do so themselves. And we hereby serve notice that in the defense of freedom and liberty, there shall be no compromise to which we shall ever yield. 21st November, 2009.
I am thinking of the millions of people, including members of the armed forces, over the years since 1789, who have raised their right hand and said, I, and their name, do solemnly swear or affirm that I will support and defend the Constitution of the United States against all enemies, foreign and domestic, that I will bear true faith and allegiance to the same, that I take this obligation freely without any mental reservation or purpose or evasion, and that I will well and faithfully discharge the duties of the office of which I am about to enter, so help me God. How does anyone who has taken this vow, elected officials especially, reconcile this with the violations that have been committed against our Constitution, and what those violations have done and are doing to America, with effects for generations to come? Let's briefly review some of the violations of the Constitution. In full view of the public, let the record be made. Let all hear the facts, and the facts are these. The Constitution of the United States has been violated over many administrations across all branches of government and by both parties. Each and every violation of the Constitution has a devastating and undermining effect on our economy, our people, our families, our way of life, our national reputation, our prosperity, and our future. For decades, our government has been meddling in the internal affairs of other countries without any constitutional authority, causing foreign nationals to direct their hostilities toward us, which has given us a war on terror and a growing police state that is repugnant to the Fourth Amendment and the general welfare of a free people. For decades, we have had undeclared wars in violation of the War Powers Clauses of Articles 1 and 2 of the Constitution. We are now gifting and lending public money and credit to private corporations for decidedly private purposes, corporate welfare, without any constitutional authority whatsoever. We have been emitting trillions of dollars worth of bills of credit through or under the auspices of the Federal Reserve System in violation of Article 1. We have been incurring trillions of dollars worth of debt for the payment of expenditures for programs and activities that are not enumerated in Article 1 and therefore not authorized. We have a fraudulently ratified 16th Amendment in violation of Article 5, a direct unapportioned tax on labor in violation of the tax clauses of Article 1, and a judicial system that refuses to consider the evidence in violation of Article 3. For decades, we have had unenforced immigration laws in violation of that mandate, plainly worded in Article 2, that requires the President to faithfully execute all the laws passed by Congress. We have a President whose father was not an American citizen, a violation of Article 2. We are counting our votes in secret, as all machines do, in violation of our constitutional right not only to vote, but to know that our votes are being accurately counted. We have an absence of a well-regulated state militia, and we have federal gun control laws, all in violation of the Second Amendment. For decades, in violation of the sovereignty clauses of the Declaration of Independence, the United States has been entering into treaties, contracts, and relationships with foreign entities, and giving authority to international bodies, dissipating and destroying and undermining America's sovereignty. We have private land being taken for private purposes in violation of the Fifth Amendment. We have a government about to become a provider of health care and about to order the people to purchase a product, powers that are not enumerated in Article 1 and therefore not authorized. We have money bills originating in the Senate in violation of Article 1. We have a Senate that is using a supermajority vote to decide whether to enact a law without an amendment to the Constitution, all in violation of Article 1, Sections 3 and 5, and Article 5.